Last time on the channel, we recreated this image section from this website. But while exploring the site, another section caught my attention. As you can see, when the section comes into view, these SVG strings animate and connect all the different elements together. And the best part is, it's a one-time animation. The lines animate only when the section enters the viewport, which gives it a really clean and premium feel. So I thought, why not take this idea a step further? So I built something similar, but with a small twist. As the page scrolls, the SVG string actually moves through every element, creating this smooth connected flow animation. And I also added scrub using GSAP scroll trigger, so the animation stays synced with the scroll movement. And honestly, this type of animation can make landing pages and showcase sections look way more dynamic. So if you enjoy these kinds of creative GSAP animation videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Alright, now let's jump into the code. In the app.jsx, we'll have a basic setup, a hero spacer, then the main component, and finally a footer spacer for some extra scroll space. Inside the component, we'll first add a ref to the section, which we'll declare later and use for GSAP animations. Then the section itself will take the full screen height and width, keep everything relative for positioning, hide the overflow, and use a white background. Then we'll add some center text, which you can customize however you want. Next, we'll create an SVG that covers the entire section, and this is where all the path animations will happen. We're also using preserve aspect ratio so the SVG scales properly across different screen sizes without breaking the layout. Now here we'll add the main SVG path. I'm directly pasting the full path data to save some time, but the important part is the D attribute, because that's what defines the entire shape and flow of the SVG line. We're also adding rounded line caps and joins to make the path look much smoother and cleaner. Here I'm adding a small moving dot that will travel along the SVG path. Next, I'm importing all the images and storing them inside an array, so we can easily map through them instead of creating everything manually. Each object in the array contains the image, the title, and its position on the screen using X and Y values. Now we'll map through the images array and create a card for each item. Each card is positioned absolutely using the X and Y values from the array, and I'm also adding some basic styling like border, padding, shadow, and rounded corners. We're also using a translate transform to perfectly center each card based on its position. Inside each card, we'll add the image and the title. The image is styled as a rounded profile image, and the title is kept bold and uppercase to make the card stand out more. Now before starting with GSAP, we'll import all the necessary packages, including scrolltrigger, motion path plugin, and use GSAP. And after that, we'll register the plugins so we can use them inside the component. Now, first we'll create the container ref, which we attach to the main container. Now inside use GSAP, we'll first select the SVG path, the moving circle element and all the cards. After that, we'll calculate the total length of the SVG path using getTotalLength, because we'll need that value to create the line drawing animation. Then using GSAP.set, we're setting both the stroke-array and stroke-offset equal to the path length. This basically hides the entire path at the start, so later we can animate the offset and create that SVG drawing effect. Next, we'll create an array called card centers. Here we're taking each card's X and Y position, converting those percentage values into SVG coordinates, and storing them along with the card element itself. After that, we'll create two variables. This will help us generate multiple points across the SVG path to track which card is closest to the moving circle. Now we'll loop through all the points across the SVG path. Using getPointAtLength, we're grabbing the X and Y position of each point and storing it inside the path samples array. Next, we'll create a card progress map. For every card, we're looping through all the stored path points and calculating which point is closest to that card. We do that by checking the distance between the card's position and every sampled point on the SVG path. And whenever we find a closer point, we update the closest progress value. So at the end, each card gets linked to a specific progress position on the SVG path. Before starting the animation, we'll set all the cards to a slightly smaller scale, so later when they scale up, the effect feels much more noticeable. Now we'll create a GSAP timeline and attach a scroll trigger to it. Here the trigger will be our container section, scrub will sync the animation with the scroll movement, and pin will keep the section fixed while the animation plays. Now the important part here is the onUpdate function. This runs continuously while scrolling and gives us the current scroll progress value. Then for every card, we compare the current scroll progress with that card's stored progress position on the SVG path. We're also creating an activation window, which basically controls how close the moving circle needs to be before the card starts reacting. Using that, we calculate a proximity value, so cards closer to the moving circle scale up more, while the farther ones stay smaller. And finally, once the moving circle fully passes a card, we keep its scale at 1.1 instead of shrinking it back down, which creates that smooth connected activation effect. Now inside the timeline, we'll first animate the SVG path by changing the stroke dash offset from the full path length back to 0, which creates the line drawing effect. After that, we'll animate the moving circle using Motion Path plugin, so it travels perfectly along the SVG path. We're also using a line and a line origin to keep the circle properly attached to the path while moving. And finally, down here we're passing the scope as the container ref, so use GSAP only targets elements inside this component. Here is the final result. As you can see, the SVG line smoothly connects all the cards while the moving circle travels through the path, and because of scrub, the whole animation stays synced with the scroll movement. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more creative GSAP animations like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.